Farm Bureau presidents from across the country gather in Washington, D.C. Missy Bauer offers recommendations for yellow soybeans, and a new USDA indemnity program will support farmers impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Janelle Brose, and this is Farm News 5.
Farm News 5 is brought to you by Ford.
B&M Crop Consulting's Missy Bauer joins Farm News 5 this week to discuss yellow soybeans and much more.
We've been getting a lot of calls on yellow beans. As you can see out in this field, there's a lot of yellow sticking out in these fields. Really variable as you drive by fields or get out and are walking and scouting your fields. It's not everywhere, but it's certainly wherever this water is sat the longest. So as we've went now into the fourth week on and off of rain, a lot of saturated soils has certainly affected these beans. So when you look out there and you see these yellow beans, what's really happening out there is really what's going on kind of below ground. So I dug these up. It's important to dig them up, but as you dig these up and you take a look at the root system, there are very few actual nodules on these, okay? And we're at that point here into the R2 growth stage where we really need our nodules kind of working for us. Here's another example here where there's just not a lot of nodules on these beans themselves. So, and the nodules that are here really aren't working very well either. Again, why? Just due to these saturated soils. These soils have just been too wet too long. You can always check your nodules by basically kind of slicing them open. I always just use my thumbnail. You kind of break that open. What you're looking for is how pink or what color they are in there. They should be a really bright pink color compared to maybe more of a whitish or a grayish color to it. So if I compare that to an area where the water hasn't stood, these are my healthier looking beans. And you can see on these, there's a lot of nodules on these. So just all the difference that makes is the amount of water that sat there. The lack of oxygen in the soils has really impacted the microbial aspect and the rhizobium to really create these nodules and get them going good. So in this healthier looking plant, if we go ahead and split some of these nodules open, you see they're very nice, bright pink color here. And we know that that's doing a good job. We're getting nitrogen made and into this plant. So a lot of this yellowness is certainly just the wet feed itself. In addition to that, we are fighting a lot of early disease here compared to what we usually do. So there's bacterial blight, Septoria brown spot. We've even seen some Phytophthora, downy mildew, which seems really early for. SDS likely has been infected. We won't see that till later on in the season, but the infection has probably taken place. And then my other concern from a disease perspective is white mold. So as we're flowering here in these beans under these cloudy days, high humidity situations, lots of rainfall, our possibility for white mold infection is pretty great. So again, that's the only way to prevent that is going to be spray a fungicide during this R2 stage, which is during that full flower period, which we're in currently. So there's still some time to do some white mold preventative applications out there, in my opinion.
Up next, Farm Bureau presidents talk top issues in Washington, D.C.
There's torque. Then there's 1,050 pound-feet of available best-in-class torque. There's towing. Then there's up to 37,000 pounds of available best-in-class towing. There's backing up a trailer. Then there's backing up with available class-exclusive Pro Trailer Backup Assist. In other words, there are trucks, and then there's the new Ford Super Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup truck ever built.
The American Farm Bureau Federation Council of Presidents Conference drew the nation's state Farm Bureau presidents to Washington, D.C. to discuss issues impacting agriculture across the country.
Well, first of all, it's great to be back here in D.C. It's been 18 months since I've been here last, and it was great to see all of our fellow state presidents that were here for Council of Presidents Conference that is in session. It was great to hear amongst the state presidents what's going on around the country and issues that are affecting them in their parts of the world. Also, it was great to hear from Ambassador Tai that was here from the trade side. Great speaker, gave us a lot of insight. I was very impressed with the ambassador and her message that she gave us and what her priorities are and how I was actually going to try to accomplish some of these things and recognizing that agriculture would be at the table on these discussions. We had Administrator Regan here from the EPA. administrator did a great job in sharing the issues that are out there. There wasn't any punches pulled. We talked about the waters of the U.S. We talked about some of the energy issues going on out there. A great contact we're going to have in moving forward, and I think he's going to be okay to deal with. I know we've got a lot of issues there to work with, but he seemed very open to address our issues.
St. Clair County Farm Bureau member and chair of AFBF's Promotion and Education Committee, Stacy Lowers, also joined the Council of Presidents Conference to provide state farm bureaus with an update on the committee's work.
Our committee is always working on creating resources and providing training opportunities to Farm Bureau members so that when they're out there engaging with the public, that they feel well equipped and prepared to do that and just convey the significance of agriculture and how important it is in our everyday lives.
Coming up, USDA indemnity program will support farmers impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Andrew Che of Fisheye Farms has been appointed to the Michigan Commission of Agriculture and Rural Development. Che's Detroit farm produces a number of specialty crops, including eggplant and tomatoes. His term, subject to the approval of the Michigan Senate, would expire at the end of 2024. The United States Department of Agriculture is channeling its pandemic assistance dollars towards the nation's livestock and poultry producers. The recently announced Pandemic Livestock Indemnity Program will provide payments to livestock producers who suffered losses due to insufficient processing capacity. Producers will be eligible for payments for livestock depopulated from March 1st through December 26th of last year. Farm Service Agency offices will begin taking applications for the indemnity program on July 20th. For more news and videos, visit MichiganFarmNews.com or the Michigan Farm Bureau channel on YouTube. With Farm News 5, I'm Janelle Brose. Have a great week of farming.